And then going to social media plays a huge role into the industry right now. And so are you someone who likes doing skits online? Do you feel like that has been beneficial for you and as far as comedy? Or do you feel like being on the road is what you like more?
You know what I'm saying? You make money, you build a following. And you know what I'm saying? Open up more doors for comedy.
What's up, you guys? It's your girl Bianca B, and welcome to the Bianca B Show, where we talk about business, finances, and friendships. So today, I'm super excited about today's guest. I saw him at a comedy show last month, and I was like, yo, I have to get him because he's from Detroit, and I had to show love. So shout outs to Detroit Reid. How are you?
I appreciate it. I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right.
Good. So your show was so funny. I had such a great time. I'm not someone that goes to a lot of comedy shows, but that experience was really dope. So you're still on tour. The last show dates are next week. So kind of tell us a little bit about how the tour's been going for you and Desi Banks.
I mean, the tour's been going good. Like the tour is not over yet. I just posted. I'm actually waiting on the flyer now for new dates. So
Oh,
we got dates all the way up to next year.
that's
So
awesome.
so it's actually dope, especially doing comedy and doing what I love to do. You know what I'm saying? Then being on the road with Des is always fun. Cause we had even behind the scenes is always funny. Even the comedy show y'all see, that's just the first comedy show. I mean, that's the second comedy show. The first comedy show come in the green room in the hotel, and as soon as we get to the airport, it's already comedy as soon as we get there. So
That's awesome. And so kind of give me a backstory on how you started out in comedy and kind of like how you build your career.
oh yeah. Well, I started out doing comedy because of actually my auntie. My auntie used to always tell me at the family reunion that I was funny and I
Mhm.
should do so. I tried to act. It's crazy. I seen it on Facebook. And when I seen it on Facebook, it was like I seen my partner doing a comedy show. And when I seen him on the comedy show, I was just like, you know what, I want to try it. Because we used to always roast in school and tell jokes in school. So I was like, I want to try it. And then as soon as I DM'd him, and you know what I'm saying? I went and did the comedy show, and then I got a standing ovation, and the rest was history.
That's awesome. And so how did you get on the tour with Desi Banks? How did you guys connect?
Actually, just really just being like just coming on the road. It's crazy. I was on tour with another couple named Terry and Melissa, uh, and I think we was in the back, and I remember Des and them was having so much fun. It was an older couple I used to tour with. So they was older, so they ain't had that much fun. I was the only young person on the tour. So I seen Des and them in the other green room having fun, like kicking the bottle, playing TikTok games, all types of stuff. So, and I was like, I want to be on that tour. So I just started popping up, coming to all their comedy shows, and I was just and then he just like, he said, I heard you was a comedian, want to go up? And that was funny. And I just pop up, and I just kept coming and coming and coming, and next you know, rest is history. Now I'm on tour, so.
That's awesome. And kind of talking to the business side of things, as far as being a comedian, some people are naturally funny, but it's hard to write jokes. So did you ever experience that? And like, how would you share like advice to people who are naturally funny, but may not know how to write a skit or like their setup when they're doing comedy?
Yeah, well, it actually suited me. You know what I'm saying? I don't write jokes, but I'm actually getting into it and learning how to write jokes because I ain't never know how to write jokes. I was just naturally funny, and I
Mhm.
just go on stage and just have fun. And that was my whole thing about just going on stage and you know what I'm saying, and just having fun. But as far as writing, you just gotta really get like get in your space and be alone and really just get into it. Like to you know what I'm saying, just actually just write jokes. You know what I'm saying? Or sometimes it just gotta be in you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But as a comedian, I feel we had to take time to just really just take time to ourselves to really get on jokes.
That's awesome. So just like take your time and like kind of just write and just kind of let it flow.
Uh-huh. And just let it, you know what I'm saying? But because some people, like you said, some people are naturally funny. Some people just do it. Like I could just go out there and do it. Like, but I had to learn. And I used to think that, there was a problem with that. But I heard Eddie Griffin at a comedy show. He was just like, I just want to apologize to y'all. Everybody looking crazy. He was just like, because I ain't never wrote a joke in my life. You know what I'm saying? Because he stage and just do it. So it made me feel better as a comedian because sometimes you just got to realize that, you know what I'm saying, you just got to give. You know what I'm saying? That was my gift.
What was your first big tour and you were like, oh my God, like I can't believe like I'm actually on tour and I love this life for me.
Well, I say this one. This
Yeah.
is the first. my first actually big tour. I'd have been on the road with like certain people from like doing certain shows. Like Mike Epps, that was dope for me. You know what I'm saying? Because growing up watching Mike Epps, Lavelle Crawford, I ain't going on tour with him, but I did a couple shows with him. Did like 7 shows with him, and it was dope because I grew up. That's when I really grew up watching BT Comedy.
That's awesome. And so going into the financial side of things, you know, you're on tour and then COVID happens and things like that. How as a comedian and like advice you would share to people who want to get into, you know, the comic world but don't really know how to budget, or like what are some financial things that you learned within your career?
Yeah, well, I learned to save for sure. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like the pandemic really showed everybody. You know what I'm saying, to me, because your mama and your grandma and everybody used to tell you like, hey, you should save. You should save for a rainy day. And you know what I'm saying. You don't really be thinking about it. But now that showed us. I feel like the pandemic showed us. So
Yeah.
when it was like everybody was panicking, but through it all, everybody learned to do TikToks. Everybody learned to just do stuff on social media, do comedy shows on social. You know what I'm saying? Just because.
So what you know, you build a lot of relationships in the comedy world. It's all about networking. Who are some dope people that you met that you like aspire or got really great advice from?
I always get a lot of advice from Desi for sure. We got Ronnie Jordan and there's a lot of comedians who gave me advice, and what else I say? Well, Eric Thomas, you know what I'm saying? We ended up doing a show and Eric Thomas pulled up. Like that's my favorite motivation speaker. You know what I'm saying? Number, and I call him, I text him from time to time. You know what I'm saying? He give a good advice. And, you know what I'm saying? Really just watch a lot of motivational things, and you know what I'm saying? And just get a lot of advice from either my stepdad or my grandmother or my brother. You know what I'm saying? My brother always teach me about like credit and how to build credit and you know what I'm saying, what to do. So I just get a lot of advice from people like that.
That's awesome. And being from Detroit, you know, growing up in the hood, you know, do you feel like you had to move to create more opportunities, or do you feel like, you know, you built in Detroit and then moved? What was kind of like your experience?
No, actually it was my grandmother. My grandmother, she wanted me to move here. She was from the South. So,
Mhm.
Detroit, we weren't used to that. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. We don't say all that. So my grandma used to always tell me that. He says, yes, ma'am, or no, ma'am. I'm gonna teach y'all some manners. You know what I'm saying? It was yes or yeah. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. You know what I'm saying? But you still we had manners in Detroit for sure. It wasn't like the South. So my grandmother, she wanted me to move here, and I remember I never forget was going down the street. Somebody was shooting or something like that. She like, see, that's why I'm gonna get y'all from down here. And she moved me. You know what I'm saying? We moved down south, and you know what I'm saying. I ended up going to school, and next thing you know, like the rest is history. And then I just learned about the South, and you know what I'm saying, and doing comedy. And what's so crazy, it actually did me great from doing comedy. I came from up north, you know what I'm saying? I came from Detroit, you know what I'm saying? I knew about Cleveland, Ohio, and stuff like that. So moving down south, and now I got to learn this down south. So now, you know what I'm saying? I got the flavor of Detroit and down south. So now it's like when we go places doing comedy, I know about each, I know about each state, each city, you know what I'm saying? So it's actually good for me. That's what I feel.
That's awesome. And then going to social media plays a huge role into the industry right now. And so are you someone who likes doing skits online? Do you feel like that has been beneficial for you and as far as comedy? Or do you feel like being on the road is what you like more?
I love being on the road. I love
Mhm.
being, you know what I'm saying? For me, I love being on the road because for me, it's comedy is everything for me. So, you know what I'm saying? But actually, I'm actually getting into doing skits. You know what I'm saying? Trying to do skits because, like Desi showing me, you know what I'm saying, how we should do skits. And, you know what I'm saying? Because I see him doing it and you make money. You know what I'm saying? You make money, you build a following. And, you know what I'm saying? Open up more doors for comedy. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't never, a lot of OGs or a lot of comedians, they get mad at comedians doing skits, but I don't get mad at it because I mean we laugh at everybody else, you know what I'm saying? But so when somebody else people who doing skits start doing comedy, it's like everybody want to be mad. Well, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't care about none of that, but I just try to get on it because there's a lot of money in it, a lot of it.
that's awesome. And then do you want to eventually do movies and things like that?
Oh yeah, movies, TV shows, plays, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I just love to just be out in the spotlight, and then especially, you know what I'm saying, just being funny and just being, of course, That's a lot of people dream. I won't say everybody, because you got people who don't want to be on TV, don't want to be in the spot, like to be behind the scene and just love the thrill of just writing and just giving the opportunity to everybody else. But me personally, I love to be on TV and be in a movie. You know what I'm saying? Because of course, to actually be on TV, my son be like, "Oh, that's my daddy right there." You know what I'm saying? So
that's awesome. And you know what's so crazy? Being a comedic, and I noticed like being around comedians and stuff like that with the previous show I worked on. A lot of comedians are really introvert and extrovert in a very interesting way. Like, it's so interesting. Do you feel like you're always on, or do you feel like you're both?
But like, it depends on who I'm around. Like, I remember me and Desi, we were talking about it a minute ago. He was just like, do you act like this right here? I said, no. You know what I'm saying? I don't act like, because if you notice something, for me, I'm quiet around some people, so you wouldn't even know I'm a comedian. A lot of people, Desi bodyguard, stuff like that. So, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, I'm just, then I learned, because I remember I seen from a comedian, Steve Brown was saying, he was talking about it. And you know what I'm saying? Then I seen Arsenio Hall was talking about Eddie Murphy when I think the lady from Kings and Queens said she came to his mansion party, and she was expecting him to be so funny, and she said he was just so chill. And they were just like how Eddie Murphy he was chill. But when it's time to do kind of stuff like that, he turned it on. So that's when I started doing that, because I learned, you know what I'm saying, I don't have to show everybody I'm a comedian like that. You know what I'm saying? But everybody different. Everybody got their own way. You got people like, they can be funny all day, but people like that. Be a people person. I'm a people person as well. It's just, you know what I'm saying, I just know when to turn it on and turn it off. So
that's amazing. And so what are 3 tips that you would give to the young boy in Detroit who's 17, class clown, you know, just want to be a comedian? What advice would you give to that boy?
I mean, I just tell them, like I said, like, don't listen to people. Always have confidence. Always believe in yourself. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Just continue to be funny. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of people. You know, and then nowadays you can do comedy at a young age. You know, even back in the day you could do it, but nowadays it's way easier. You can do comedy now. You know what I'm saying? Because I was a class clown. You know what I'm saying? Teachers, this funny stuff ain't gonna get you nowhere. But hey, now I'm getting paid for it. You know what I'm saying? You get paid. Teachers doing what we doing. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that back then. Ain't nobody tell me that. But I wish I would have started younger. But you know what I'm saying? It's actually great now. You know what I'm saying? And I just tell them, you know what I'm saying, to keep being funny.
That's awesome. And so what's next for you? Where can people follow you?
Oh, they can follow me on Instagram, Detroit Reid Comedy, DetroitReid Comedy. And then on Facebook, Comedian Detroit Reid.
That's
On
awesome.
Facebook, that's my fan page. And my regular page is Delshawn Reid, DELSHAWNREID. Well, they can just follow the fan page, Comedian Detroit Reid.
That's awesome. And do you have merch too?
Yeah, I got We got merch. You know what I'm saying? And then I got the other one, but can't say that on it.
Awesome. Make sure you guys follow us on Instagram at Bianca B Show. Make sure you guys follow me at It's Bianca B. It's your girl Bianca B. Thank you guys.